Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Toni and I'm a homeschooling mom to 4 kids. And we are, 4 or 5 weeks maybe into the school year. So I am ready to start doing some curriculum reviews and share maybe some flip throughs and just show you guys what we're using and give you a peek into it. I haven't actually done a flip through of the curriculum in quite a while. So I'm actually really excited to do this to show you guys. Today we are focusing on history, specifically BiblioPlan's history. They have 2 different books, and if you're one who's ever tried to consider, like, should I use this book or this book, this is why I'm showing you this. Because when I was trying to decide earlier this year, they have 2 different books. Let me just show you this real quick. They have the companion book and they have the Remember the Days book. And I know on their website, it says Remember the Days is for, what is it for? Like grades 3 through 8 maybe, or something, I think. Maybe 3 through 8. And then this is for, or maybe either 1st through 8th or 3 through 8. And then this is for high school. But I have known lots of people that use BiblioPlan that use this for high school. And we actually were in a co-op last year where they used this for high school. So that's what we used for 9th grade. But I've been curious about this book. So I'm going to give you a peek into both so that you can better decide which book is better for you, because we're using both this year. So if you've been curious about BiblioPlan, or if you're looking for a new history curriculum and you're not sure what to use, this is one that I highly, highly recommend and we love. You're going to enjoy this. Go ahead and click the like button if you are looking forward to seeing a peek into this curriculum. That's encouraging to me. So if you could give me a little thumbs up, and then don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of my other videos, because I'm going to be sharing a lot of other curriculum stuff. So you got to join the club. Let's get going. So just to give you a brief overview before I flip the camera around and flip through these 2 books. What we use is BiblioPlan. So if you're not familiar with BiblioPlan yet, BiblioPlan's awesome because it's a history curriculum that is based on a Christian worldview. So you learn your Bible history right alongside world history, American history. It goes side by side. And that is one of my favorite things, because I know there are some curriculums out there that teach world history. They teach Bible history, but they don't coincide. You can't actually line it up on a timeline. And I think that's really important. So that's one thing that I love about BiblioPlan, is that it's got Bible history mixed in. It's got church history sections. So it's got different sections. I'll show you when I do this, but it's got things like world geography, and then it's got church history all throughout these books. And I think that is very important. As a believer, I want Bible history to be taught just like world history and right along with it. So that's one thing I love. Another huge thing that I love about BiblioPlan is that it can be taught for a wide range of students. I'll tell you how we do it. I used this book, Remember the Days, with my 3rd grader, my 6th grader, and my 8th grader. We all sit on the couch and read this together. And then there's other components that go along with this. They actually have a ton of stuff. I will link the website below so you guys can just go on there and check out all the options that they have. But I have everything from a timeline, a craft book, history questions. They have missionary, like a book that's based on missionaries. I can't remember what it's called. Giants of Faith, I think. I'm sure they have more. They have a ton of options on their page. Lots of different things you could do. There's a president study too. Anyway, there's a lot of really cool things on their website, and they have a family guide. I'm not actually giving you guys a flip through of the family guide today. Today's just focused on the textbooks, but this is the family guide, which, if you do look into BiblioPlan, I really think this is one of the most valuable things. This is a complete lesson book list, everything that you need for a 34-week literature-based study, which if you like that kind of Charlotte Mason-y literature-based study, you would love this. And this is for grades K through 12. So this book, actually, I can use this for my 3rd grader. I can use it all the way up for my high schooler. It's got assignments all throughout here with different books. I love the book options. If you do want to integrate reading that goes along with the history, it has planned it all out in here for you, which is amazing. We've done that in the past where I have assigned books, just like you would assign books anyway, but I assign them to go along with our history time period that we're studying. But it's got all the ages broken up. It's got descriptions of all the books. It's amazing. It also has videos in here. Like, it's got links to videos, movies in here that have to do with what your time period is. It's got a section on family read alouds, which is really cool. It's just got a ton of stuff in here. It breaks everything down for you so you know what to assign for what kid. You don't do everything in this book, absolutely not. But you can use that. So I just wanted to give a little plug for that, because I do think if you're like, oh, there's so many things on the BiblioPlan website, I have no idea what to choose. If you want to just simplify it and ease yourself into it, pick a textbook and get this, the family guide, and then maybe one other thing is how we do it. So maybe do a timeline, or maybe do the cool history questions or something like that. But anyway, that is just the gist of what BiblioPlan offers. They have plenty of stuff on their website, so check it out. The other thing that we use is my 10th grader is using the companion book, which is the BiblioPlan Companion Year 3 for Early Modern History. We're doing Early Modern for both sets of kids. So the cool thing is, what my high schoolers learning, my younger kids are also learning. This is just more in depth. Now, let me show you side by side. The textbook is bigger, but not a whole lot. Like, you can't even really tell. It's a little bit bigger, this one. This is the volume 1. Now, I showed you how close they were in size, but there's also volume 2. So for the year, she actually, my oldest daughter needs to get through this halfway through the year, and then this will be the second half of the year. So it is more reading. So keep that in mind. But for high school, that makes sense that it would be that way. So I'm going to give you a quick flip through just so that you can see the inside of these books. Now, one thing to keep in mind, it's got lots of color, lots of pictures. They have a lot of color-coded boxes that just bring out important things as you're reading. So as I flip through this, you'll see, like we read about this today, and it was talking in here about when they reached Bermuda, and it was talking about the reefs and how sometimes those can be a problem. It's got a little definition box here on what a reef is, in case your child doesn't know that. Or sometimes it'll focus on a person. We were reading about the Algonquians in this, and then here there's a whole little section that gave you just a more in-depth look at what the Algonquians were about and what you need to know about them. So you'll see in their little colored boxes that are just kind of like a focus on me, you need to know this kind of thing. I'll flip the camera around now and give you a peek into what the insides look like, so you can just see how similar they are, but also how different they are. So maybe how many pages are in chapter 1 in the Remember the Days book versus how many days are in the high school book for chapter 1. So let's check it out. Okay, so here is the Remember the Days book. There's the front page. It has what you're allowed with copyright, all that stuff. That's always important. Then it breaks down all the stuff you need to know. Here is the table of contents. So there are 34 weeks there. They have map helps in the back. So this is what a basic chapter looks like. I will kind of explain the first chapter so you can see, and then I'll just flip through kind of quickly so you can see the rest. So this is what I'm talking about. Sometimes it'll have this has a breakup of the different eras of history. Then we've got some important words. So we read about colonies in here. Now it's going to tell us what a colony is. I appreciate that, especially for the younger kids. But in here, we're talking about revolutions. What's a revolution? What's right here? And then it's got important people that we talked about. This is basically what it all looks like. So I like that it has pictures so you can put a face to a name when you're learning about something. So that was the prologue. Here is a chapter. Let's see how long a chapter is. So chapter 1, we start with U.S. history. It's got maps. It's got pictures. Then we've got some more. We've got important people, Christopher Columbus. It's got some words, another person. Here sometimes has flags and things like that. So then there's world history, some pictures there. So these are just kind of highlight points, like someone that they talked about. And then, so those things kind of stick out, which I think does help the kids. It helps them to remember those things. Then there's just some more things. It helps that it's not just black and white. It's nice and broken up. There's a whole section here on smallpox because we talked about how smallpox affected them in that area, so they know what that is. There's some more pictures. It highlights people when you're going to talk about a person, what their importance was in history. It focuses on them. There's world geography. So I love that geography is in here too. That was chapter 1. So let's see how many pages that was. So 11 pages. I usually read maybe 3 or 4 pages a day is about how we do. You can kind of just stop. I usually try to stop at one of these lines, and we do it about three days a week. If you get the family guide, it tells you exactly how many which pages to read, which sections to read on which day. So let's flip through the rest of this just so you can see what this looks like, and then we'll check out the high school book. Okay, I'm going to flip through the rest a little quicker here, just so you guys can see. But you see, it's got plenty of pictures to break up the reading. So even though it's a lot of reading, it's not overwhelming because you break it up. I actually have my kids read these. This would be a tip that I would give you from my years of using this. I read all this. I ask one of them to read this. I ask one of them to read this. I maybe would have like each of my kids read a paragraph here. Somebody would read that. Then I read it. So they're not just sitting listening to mom this whole entire time. I think that really helps. Just break it up a little bit. Okay, so that is, and then there's map helps, I think, in the back. Let me see. There's some maps in the back, which are helpful. Okay, so that's Remember the Days book. Now let's check out the high school book. So like I said, we have 2 different volumes here of the companion guide for high school. So let's look at volume 1 real quick. Full classical history and literature curriculum. There we go. So volume 1, it should be set up. It's pretty much set up the same. We got a table of contents, also 34 weeks. It's got, we'll see if it has maps in the back. So this has a lot more reading, okay? But it's still covering the same stuff that the other one covered. It just has more details, as you can see. Still, they're breaking it up with different colors and pictures and things like that. I do think that's really helpful. I mean, a lot of these things, this is like fascinating facts, just to elaborate on what they're learning, which I think is cool. Fascinating facts, quite a few of these are. But this is like, it's already highlighted what is important. What do they need to know? And then here's chapter 2. So chapter 1, let's see. Chapter 1, let's count how many pages. So there's 22 pages about, at least in chapter 1, we had 11 pages in the Remember the Days book. So this is obviously more reading. The child is just going to read more each day. Or you could do 5 days a week if you want to do that. I actually have my daughter, typically she does 5 days a week to do her reading. So then she's not sitting reading tons and tons of pages each day. But she said she finds it interesting, and she has actually learned a lot through this because of the way it's set up. I mean, it just, I think it's great that they have different things like this. You know, you're learning about the Indians. We're talking about wigwams and different things that they use. I think that's really helpful. The maps are helpful. Nice little explanation next to it. So I do like, especially for a visual learner, it's nice that it's not just black and white. I appreciate that because I'm a visual learner for sure. So it would help me. This one has all the characters of the Dutch Revolt all broken up with their the name, the date, and then important stuff about them. So they make it kind of easier to pull out what you need to know. Still with plenty of pictures. It's just longer and it's more in depth, but they're going to learn more because it's more in depth, where the younger book is just an overview. There's a U.S. focus, so they're just focused. The whole page is on Virginia. Okay, there's chapter 4. So I'll flip through the rest of this so you can get a peek at what this is like, but that's kind of the gist of it. volume 1. I'm sure volume 2 is pretty close, but I'll give you a quick flip through. That's what they look like on the inside. Hopefully that helps just give an idea. Just when I was trying to decide, I felt like I actually borrowed one of the companion books from a friend because I felt like I just needed to see what it looked like. Sometimes you just need to see it. So I'm hoping that these flip throughs will help you guys just get a gist of what it looks like inside. They're very similar. At least they're a similar setup, similar with lots of like color and illustrations and things like that, which I think helps. I'm gonna give you a tip, a big tip here. We discovered this, I can't remember if it was last year or the year before. I don't remember. But BiblioPlan has an audiobook, which is amazing. My girls absolutely loved it last year. So my 2 big girls did the Remember the Days together last year. When they did Ancient Times together, they used the audiobook and they said it was hugely helpful. I did not have time to read to my younger ones and to my older ones with everything else that we had going on. So if you don't think you either want to read everything or you want to give yourself a break if you're reading a lot of other stuff, you just don't have time to read it or whatever your reason is, or maybe you just want them to be more independent. This is what my oldest daughter does. So I read the Remember the Days book with my little ones. I enjoy sitting on the couch and reading that together with them. I enjoy doing that together. And then we, can talk about stuff. So I do enjoy that. I don't have the time to read to my older, and I don't think she needs me to read to her anyway. So she reads it on her own, but she uses the audiobook, and she said it's been super helpful. So she listens to it just on my laptop. You download an audio file and she listens to that as she has the book open. So as she's reading, she's also hearing it. And she said she's really grasped really well this year, all the information that she needed to grasp. And the only assignment that we do on top of just reading is the cool history questions. And there's lots of different levels. There's for littles, middles, and advanced, I believe. And so my oldest does the cool history for advanced. My other 2 girls do cool history for middles, and my little boy just listens. He doesn't do any of the questions this year. So that's how we do it, and it has been great. We've been using BiblioPlan for years. This is our 2nd time through the cycle, and I really love it. I have history is one of those things that I'm like, I'm good with sticking with this for the rest of our homeschooling career. I love it. It's great for family style, but it's also great for independent learning. So if you're not sure what your high schooler, what you want to use for them next year, I would really look into this because I think it's good. I love that it's got biblical history throughout. It's got so many options. If you get that family guide, if you want to add things in, if you want to add in literature reading, or if you want to add in, they have papers, you can have them write like a research paper. There's all kinds of stuff that you can add if you want to beef it up. But even just these textbooks alone and the audiobook, it's amazing. It's wonderful for us. So it's been really good. I hope you guys enjoy this. If you have any questions about BiblioPlan, please feel free to ask in the comments, and I will do my best to answer the questions the best I can. That's a peek into a BiblioPlan history. I hope you enjoyed this. Thanks for being here. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not yet subscribed, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.